Then we'll get into the good stuff. Unless you want to see the preamble, because Lyle and I can be highly entertaining. I love how straight faced you were. Oh, that fixed it. Whatever you just did just then. Yeah. Entertaining. It's staying put at the moment. Okay. If you could, that'd be sweet. Just before I answer, could I grab your PV poke screen? Is it now? That's a good point. Yeah, first day was really good. First day I was playing Summertime Cup, or Summer Cup, or whatever it's called, and I won my first 19 battles.
That's fine.
Yeah, and then ended with 22 out of 25. Although I played a set this morning and went 1-4. So I don't know how you can suddenly start doing bad like that.
Well, I mean, sure you threw a game or two.
Yeah, I'm sure I made a dumb mistake somewhere. What about you?
I've just been playing open, just like trying out some of the new stuff like Sand Slash, Metacham.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing around with Emolga. Yo, Emolga was fun to use.
Yeah, I keep hearing that.
Yo, that acrobatic from that Emolga. There's like I was even playing like, let's say like Quagsire lead. Like you CMP them on the acrobatics on the Stone Edge, and like if they don't shield that, it does literally like almost like 70%.
Yeah.
It does a lot.
I think because we're used to seeing it on Jump Bluff, which is so low attack. Like, it's such a shock when we see it on something much higher.
Yeah, like, look at acrobatics. It says it does 57%, but I don't know. Maybe mine's like a slightly attack-weighted one.
Knocking it out with a discharge.
No, you get knocked out.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Mainly, I've been playing. I was playing like a team. It was like Emolga, Quagsire, Metacham. So, like, basically how I was playing it is like trying to catch the second. I was like try to land usually I like land the acrobatics or get a shield, and then I try to catch the second Stone Edge on my Quagsire. And then I'm in a pretty good spot because like I have a full health thing. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Okay, so
it can be annoying. Sorry, go ahead.
Are you thinking like Emolga is proper meta now?
It is. It's a little awkward against like some things that you think it should be, just because of the high energy cost of acrobatics. So, like, example, some of the fighters and stuff, like, if they correctly shield, like, acrobatics, it gets, like, awkward for Emolga. So, some matchups, like grass types and stuff like that, you kind of have to bait. And you don't, unlike Charizard, it doesn't have the wing, it doesn't have the fast move pressure. So,
yeah.
But I think it's good. I had one game where like I got an Altera shielded discharge, and then I landed in acrobatics, and it like friggin'
slapped.
Did so much. Let's see how much it do to Altera.
All right. I'll guess. 55 damage. 55%.
It says here 49.6. Which is quite a lot.
It is for an Altaria.
So, because like every Thundershock's doing 2 damage. So like, and then you land in acrobatics, like it's pretty good damage. And you get there in seven thunder shocks.
Yeah, and then 6 for the next one. That's is it 6 for the next one? No.
No, it's 7 for the next one. I'm not sure about the third. I don't think I ever threw 3 of them.
Yeah, it'd be 776.
Emolga is not the strongest. Yeah, it's 776. Yeah, Emolga is like kind of glassy. But
and knows quick attack too. I mean, if you want a bit of fast move pressure.
Yeah, but you get the discharge in 5, which is really nice with Thunder Shock.
Yeah.
Because like, and like discharge does a lot, like in neutral situations, like it'll do like 30% or more to like let's say like a Sableye, like just like look at how much the discharge does to Sableye, 40%.
I'm actually surprised by that.
That's crazy, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you don't need to land it. Acrobatics does almost 70% to Sableye. So like with some Thunder Shocks, you can basically just like
2-shot with discharge.
Yeah, you can 2-shot with discharge. So like it says here the 1 shield is like a tie with an acrobatics. But like if you do take it to the 2s, like I mean this is double baiting, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like it's good because you can get to there first, so you can like chip it, or if you get some energy. Like Metacham, acrobatics does like 86%, so like it's pretty good. But like Ice Punch also does like 42, so only problem with it is a little glassy.
Yeah.
But it's been fun to try.
What's its stat product?
It's like 1700 or something.
Okay, that's so.
It's glassy.
I've said before, 1700s is like your Trevenant level of glass.
But Trevenant has Shadow Claw, right? So
yeah.
Well, and also speaking of Innocent Cup, like Emolga is eligible in this cup, and it did get a pretty big boost up.
Yeah.
With the updated rankings, and you can see here it's 7.
Yeah, so we haven't heard anything about them banning it, which at 7 at an overall score of 91, you wouldn't think it's busted.
No, I don't think it's busted.
Yeah.
But there are some big, like this one went up like a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Wishcash was not ranked this high. It jumped up like a lot. Drifblim dropped down quite a bit, actually.
Really?
Yeah, because of look at all the electrics in the top 10.
Yeah.
Raichu, Dedenne, Zapdos, Emolga, right? So I battled Drifblim the other day in GBL, and it was like with my Alolan Sandslash. It's like, this motherfucker, he's just throwing a Icy Wind at me. What the fuck is this? And then I was like, oh no, it's not an Icy Wind.
Yeah. Yeah, surprise.
It was a mystical fire, and it didn't quite one shot, but it did like over 90%.
Oh.
So, did a lot. I lost that game. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck, trainer? And then you're like, what the fuck?
Moved up. Yeah, it was bad. A lot of things jumped around because of that update.
Yeah.
So,
next couple of minutes, I want to hear your predictions on Play Pokemon this weekend.
I think you're going to see a lot of Dewgong.
Okay. What about the A-Slash?
Sandslash is good. It's really good. It's a little more alignment dependent than Dewgong.
Yeah,
right?
okay. Yeah.
Because I think Dewgong is like the safer play. It's annoying, man. That Pokemon is just straight up annoying to deal with. Like, you think like, okay, you have 1 shield left. You're about to kill them. Like, I need a shielded drill run. It's gonna do like half my health. They icy wind you. You know? Even Metacham, like I faced teams that were like ABA weak to Metacham. And like by the time you're done killing the Dugong, you're like below half health and you're debuffed.
Yeah.
And it's like your Metacham is not that like useful later. Like
yeah.
So it's really strong. It doesn't necessarily like it's not a Pokemon that's gonna beat every Pokemon. It's just a Pokemon that's like really annoying to deal with.
I think that, yeah, I agree with Dugong. I also think Metacham is gonna bump up in usage, and Sableye as a result, and then Alolan Ninetales as another result of that. Although, I don't know how many teams will be running Dugong and A-Tails, so they might be making a choice between the two. But like, yeah, you can probably fit a team.
A-Tails usage is down now because
how do we know?
usage is down. Just from I saw some people do some practice tournaments and stuff and team building and whatnot.
Well, it would be a good core breaker. Well, not core breaker. It's yeah, I guess you can call it core breaker to Metacham and Sableye, which I think are going to be big.
The problem is Powder Snow A9 doesn't really even beat Metacham that well.
Yeah.
Like it's
probably just go with another fairy then.
Yeah, I honestly like I think a spicy fairy that could possibly do some work is Clefable.
Yeah, okay.
Looks very interesting.
You obviously have to.
The medium.
Yeah, go on.
You get walled by steals, but I mean most fairies do, anyways, right?
Yeah.
I was watching some battles. Like I was watching, let's say, I think Ilium was battling Clefable earlier with his Cresselia, and like you pace at the same time. You have Psycho Cut. Yeah, no, Charmtails is still good, but the Moonblast from that Wiggly or that Clefable hits hard, and it paces at the same time as a lot of those spammy things now, like Cresselia, stuff like that, like those bulky things.
What is it? 60 energy for Moonblast?
And if Sandslash is the like preferred, or even if Sandslash or whatever is the preferred steel type, you have Meteor Mash, which does like a lot of damage to Sandslash.
Yeah.
Like it's neutral, but it hits hard, right? So
it's a good move.
I think it could be interesting, but in general, basically, you're gonna see teams that are like Sableye, Medi, Reggie. You add like Swampert. You're probably gonna have like Noctowl, Sableye, like that type of stuff. Like those are the core. But I think there's definitely a bit more room for some interesting things. Alola Marowak could be interesting too.
Walrein, I think, could make a bit of a comeback.
Yeah, I was wondering if Walrein would have more play now in Master League Premier as well.
Oh, interesting.
Due to the fact that its Icicle Spear will actually like do some decent damage now. Right?
Yeah.
So that's another thing I was interested in. But yeah, I think we'll see some interesting stuff this weekend. But I think in general, like basically the practice tournament that Elite did yesterday, which was in the Inadequances Discord. Basically, like when I was helping him, just like we were going over teams, looking at some stuff, just like chilling, because it's just practice, right? It doesn't matter. He was running like Noctowl Lantern a lot. Like,
yeah, okay.
So it's, it's like, what do we run here? Noctowl Lantern.
Noctowl Lantern.
Like, it's not like the meta hasn't shifted crazily, but like someone could bring like a Credilli.
Yeah.
And Credilli reliably beats Noctowl and Lantern. Unlike Quagsire, where it's like really sketchy against Noctowl because of the Stone Edge not being able to kill. Credilli, because of Rock Slide, actually has a positive matchup now with Noctowl. So
and I was saying that on my last stream, where like I'm glad we have the update because it's so refreshing after 6 months of nothing. But as far as just like the grand scheme of updates go, I don't think it's actually that game changing. Like I still, like you said, think there will be plenty of Lantern, Noctowl, even a bunch of Trevenant still. And then like a couple of little extra things added in that you weren't seeing before, like your Dugong.
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind the Lantern Noctowl so much. It was like the teams that I was running were always. I always had issues dealing with Trev. So
yeah, right.
Trev was. The problem is that it just it did so well against. It was easier to fix the meta by nerfing Trev than it was nerfing other things, right? Because like Wing Attack or like Surf or whatever, or Spark has like Spark maybe, but they would have more implications, like are wider than just the one Pokemon they're targeting, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like they can nerf Seed Bomb and like it doesn't really affect any other Pokemon. Like I guess people were complaining about Breloom, like jokingly, but like it doesn't really. It's easier to target, right?
Yeah.
So
poor execute in Element Cup.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes a difference because it does have confusion. So
yeah, and Ancient Power. All right. Do you want to get into it?
Sure.
Okay, so I've been hearing a lot of people complain that it's Charm meta, but looking at the top Pokemon, like, where's the first Charmer? Number 8?
Well, people are saying that because there's not a lot of Charm resist.
Oh, and that's not even a Charmer.
Well, no, just in general though, there's not a lot of Charm resist, right? So like all these like top Pokemon, like you can 2-shield through them basically with a Charmer, right? But the thing is, there is like some bulky options, and also Seeking is pretty good at dealing with the Charmers since it has the Icy Wind and the Poison Jab. But the annoying part about the meta is that the poisons don't really beat Charmers that well, or Fairies that well, let's say. Because if you look at the fast moves at the Fairies, or the poisons.
Yeah, you've got Infestation on Swalot.
You got Infestation, two with Infestation and 2 with Dragon Tail.
Yeah.
Not exactly. You would say, I have no fucking idea why they added Arbok to this meta. It makes no sense. It literally sucks. It doesn't beat Fairies. It doesn't beat anything. Like, I don't understand why the hell it's there. Like, maybe if it had Poison Jab, it might be good. But, no. I think there's only 1, maybe 2 good poison types in this meta. It's either Swalot or Garbodor, and I think Swalot's just better because of the coverage moves.
And with Infestation, at least, like, you're not relying on Infestation for damage. So the fact that it's resisted by Fairies, it's not as big a deal.
Well, it actually hurts it. It hurts it, but that's the thing. Is like they resist your fast move, right? So you have to rely on damage all from the charge moves.
Yeah.
And so like Swalot can actually lose to Azu. Just because.
Yeah, I see that. Wow,
look, it's a 497. It's very close.
Can that be fixed with better timing, or is that?
No, because they survived 2 Sludge Bombs.
Yeah.
And then like Ice Beam's neutral. Azu just outpaces, and like they're doing bubble damage, and you're doing infestation damage. Infestation's doing 2 damage. Bubble's doing 5. So it just adds up, right?
Yeah. Is Ice Beam Play Rough the go-to moveset?
It says here if it's a high rank XL Azu, you should be able to beat it. Potentially. Ice Beam Play Rough probably. I mean, there's
Yeah, I
no
don't
steel
think.
types in the meta, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Or there's, I mean, there's not. Ice is a really good typing, like a really good charge, or like a really good like
Offensive
move
typing.
in this meta. Yeah, there's not a lot of it, but it hits a lot of things, and you can see the top rank. Like there's jump lefts #1, but there's also a lot of electric, which are flying types, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because electric isn't included as one of the types, so like the only
So you
way they
can
can get in is
see
through other typings.
Pokemon with ice. So Seaking has Icy Wind.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if Dugong had Poison Jab, Jesus,
Don't put that out there.
God help us all.
You shut your mouth.
The only thing holding that thing back right now is Ice Shard. Thank God.
Which, I mean, Ice Shard in itself is already a good move.
It's good, but you know how 3 turns are these days, right? It's not quite as good. So Wiggly does have Ice Beam, and that was another one. I think they purposely didn't give Wigglytuff Fairy Wind because it would be too freaking good.
Yeah.
Like Fairy Wind, Ice Beam, Disarming Voice, dude, this thing will just destroy. Wishcash, apparently, from what I heard from a couple of my friends who are doing some practice, Wishcash is really solid.
Yeah, so
it has the Blizzard.
Yeah, it's got that it's beating Jump Laugh, but that would be bait dependent. In the 1s and 2s.
But it handles Seaking pretty well.
Yeah.
It handles a lot of the fairies, other than apparently Florges. It's very close matchups with a lot of things. I see Azure has Ice Beam. Swallow has Ice Beam. You have Drifblim. I think Drifblim's pretty good still, because you do have that Icy Wind.
Actually,
and,
sorry,
Shadow
could you
Ball combo.
go back to Florges? Going back to Florges for a sec, is that running double fairy, or is it Petal Blizzard?
No, it's double fairy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you want to run. So they are baiting once with a Disarming Voice, and they have to land a Disarming Voice and a Moonblast. It's very close.
Yeah.
Looks like, and you win the zeros. Moonblast, Disarming Voice. I mean, I don't think I would probably just Moonblast first. It only does 53%.
Yeah.
I did build a Florges for this meta. It's been fun so far. Like the Moonblast hits really hard.
Okay.
What other ice do we have? So Togetic has Hidden Power Ice. Don't think you want to use that. Hypno is interesting. I think there's only room for one Psychic type though on your team. So I think the choice will be between Hypno and Raichu.
Why do you say there's only room for one Psychic type?
Just like you don't want to have too much of the same typing, right? They're weak to similar things like dark types. I think you're gonna want to have a dark type on your team in this meta, whether that be Zweilous or Guzzlord. Either one of them, I think, is very important. Just to help balance out your team and put pressure on your opponent, so they can't run like, specific things just nonstop against you. I think, again, like I said, electric resist is going to be very important. So like ground types, dragon types, things like that. There are other dragons, but I just think that the dark dragons are just better because you at least also have that bonus resistance against the psychic types, such as Hypno as well, right?
I'm worried about how alignment based it could get if we're like, is it turning into a fairy dark something else meta? So like dark's good against all these things, but then whoops, don't get it locked in against a fairy.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but that's why you have to bring some things to help with the fairies. Like I would definitely say if you're running a team with Zweilous or Guzzlord, you should definitely put Seaking and Swalot on your team.
Also, Guzzlord knows Sludge Bomb.
It does. I actually did a scrim with someone, and they caught a wild charge on their Guzzlord, and I had my Florgus in the back, so I came for the Fairy Wind down after that, and I shielded because I was worried about a Sludge Bomb.
Yeah.
But you can see the other dragons that are available because dragon is allowed typing. So you have Zweilous, Guzzlord. Those are the top 2 ones for a reason, I think. You can see some of the wins, right? Hypno, Emolga, Jellicent, Tropius, Swampert. Nice thing about Zweilous, though, is that if you are facing these fairies that aren't running Charm, you do have the Body Slam, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you, unlike Guzzlord, like, it's saying to run Sludge Bomb, but the thing is, actually, is that you lose to Swalot if you don't have Crunch. If you're running Crunch, Dragon Claw, you can beat Swalot with Guzzlord. So I think that could be kind of depending, because like Swalot is kind of one of those things you would think with Infestation, Ice Beam, you should be able to beat Guzzlord, right?
Yeah.
But it's very close matchup.
I would think, though, that it's more important to focus on having that weapon against the fairies, right? Because I think fairies are going to be on every single team you face, probably multiple. Whereas Swalot might be on every, 3rd team or whatever.
Yeah, again, that's why I think I just rather run Zweilous, because Dragon Claw is nice, but I think I just prefer Body Slam as the low energy move. Because like honestly, like the Azu matchup is not that bad for Zweilous. Things like that, right? Like you shield a play rough, you get off a couple Body Slams, you catch a move. Like, depends what fairies they're running. Obviously, if they're running Charm, you're gonna get destroyed. But that's another reason why you need to have those poison types on your team. You need to have some Charm resist.
That's weird.
Because there is no steel, right? No steel.
Yep, no steel.
How about fire? No fire. So what else resists fairy? Poison, right? That's it.
Wait.
So I think
it says here poison's on the ban list on this image.
They are, but there. If you see at the bottom there, they allowed 4 of them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right.
But the 4 they allowed were not necessarily that strong against fairies.
Yeah. That's probably why they allowed him, right?
Yeah, but Swalot's pretty bulky. If you look at the stat product here, it's 2158. It's definitely nice. And if you go ahead, yeah.
No, go on.
It's saying if you sort the meta by stat product, you can see like the bulkiest Pokemon, like Azu being the most bulky. Then you have Jump Bluff, Alomola, Araquanid, Ledian, Uxie apparently, Tropius as they pronounce it nowadays, DD. The Swallows here are 11. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's similar to Hypno, which is, we all know how bulky Hypno is, right?
Yeah. Blob says Arbok hype, and we have some bad news for you, Blob.
What the fuck? Dude, Arbok is so shit. What does it even beat? It beats
Farfetch'd, let's go.
Okay, it beats Swalot. There you go. And Zweilous, barely.
Dragon Tail hype.
Imagine a Pokemon with Dragon Tail Acid Spray barely beating this. It's a poison type. It can't even beat Jump Bluff and Tropius, okay? Look, it loses to Azu. It's 365 battle rating.
Take that, Blob.
This thing is shit.
Don't ever share your opinions again.
6 and 30 versus the meta. Oh my god, dude. So bad. The thing is, like I said, if this thing had Poison Jab or something,
then
like
busted.
I mean, I wouldn't say busted, but it's way better, right?
Busted. New meta.
Like 21 and 15.
Yay.
pretty good.
That's pretty
I
good.
wonder how it does with acid. Maybe you should run acid.
See, I thought of that, but like, it's something.
It does better with acid than Dragon Tail. At least it beats all the fairies.
Yeah.
So if you want to surprise your opponent, bring in acid.
Loses to Tapu Fini.
Beats some of the psychic types here that don't have.
Actually, where's Tapu Fini in the number 40, 82.5 rating?
I think Azu's better.
Well, I'm just wondering about like a double water fairy strat. So like draw out whatever you need to draw out with Azu and then close it with Tapu or vice versa. It loses to Gliscor?
Which, Tapu?
Yeah. That's,
Get
obviously with a bait. Yeah, get baited.
Hidden gems. Yo, let's go.
Let's go.
I mean, sort of hidden gems because of some of the move updates. Yeah, like I built one team for Innocent so far. I will definitely have to upgrade it, I think, to make some changes because I am a little weak to some of the mud boys, specifically like Wishcash, I think would be a problem for this team. But right now it's Swallet, Florges, Sea King, Zweilous, Driftblim, and Raichu.
So let me pop that into Team Builder.
I didn't even use Team Builder actually because I don't think the meta. I don't think the Team Builder, the meta list was up that well, or maybe the meta list was up, but I didn't. I don't think I used Team Builder.
Well, let's find out.
I think I was just going on base on.
On what felt right.
Well, I'd been talking it over with one of my friends who does a lot of these tournaments.
Double electric on Raichu?
Yeah, probably. This was before the Mud Bomb buff, though. Okay. Raichu looked really good.
Yeah.
Swallet?
So what was it? Swallet?
And Florges. And Sea King.
You love your Sea King.
I am a big Sea King fan. Zweilous, shiny.
Click the shiny button.
Non-community day shiny. Thank you so much.
Wow.
And Driftblim.
It looks like a pretty solid team. That is with Icy Wind, right?
Yeah, I think you want Icy Wind in this meta because of those dragons, like Zweilous and stuff. You can hit it back at least as a ghost, right?
Get wrecked, Jumpluff. So yeah, now with the new buff, Wishcash is a huge problem.
Wishcash is kind of a problem. Swellow's annoying. Gliscor was kind of annoying to deal with, but I do have like some ice moves and stuff. And Swampert again was annoying. So looks like, what is that? Zweilous beats Swampert?
It should,
but it loses to Wishcash, I guess.
Yeah, but that... A lot of those Wishcash sims are assuming a bait and then a blizzard.
Yeah, because when I battled Dino and he had a Swampert on his team, and I was like, right away I was like, oh, this is not good. He didn't bring it though until the third game, which I thought was really interesting. But I was expecting him to lead it in the third game, and I led it into Driftblim. And like apparently, not even that good of a matchup.
Which one? The Wishcash Driftblim?
No, Driftblim Swampert.
Oh, yep. Okay, so this is without baiting. Looks like Wishcash only drops the wireless matchup without baiting. Still beating the others.
Still beats Drifblim?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, just going straight Blizzard. And Drifblim's going straight Shadow Ball. What if it like Icy Winds first?
Yeah, how does it go just straight Icy Wind? Just remove Shadow Ball.
The Drifblim wins that one.
There you go.
Okay.
I know versus Swampert, like, as you can see here in the Sims, like, this is how it played out. I let the first Hydro go, and then I threw a Shadow Ball, and he didn't shield it. And I was able to shield a Hydro and Hex down right as he was making it to the third Hydro. So,
yeah, that's solid.
That's how it played out. I was like fairly confident that if I landed, like, I was gonna go for the Shadow Ball because at least I could take shield advantage out of that matchup, probably. But yeah, Zweilis, good, I think.
You got Galissapod here, new edition.
There's a lot of electric though.
Just trying to think what you'd replace in here.
I would probably have to replace
Raichu, right?
I don't know. I liked Raichu.
What are you targeting with Raichu though?
Basically everything that doesn't resist electric. It's just good. I could replace Raichu for something. Maybe or I could replace Drifblim for like a harder answer, like a Jumpluff or something.
I'm worried about the Swirlet as well though. See, now we've got everything loses to Swirlet.
Everything loses to it, but it doesn't convincingly beat a lot of things. So
sure,
maybe it's one of those things where you just like you're weak to it, and you know the opponent's going to bring it, but it's not going to be able to solo your team. So you just like deal with it, and then you just have like something in the back that they only have Swallet to beat, and then you can just tap them with it. I don't know.
On the other hand, like, it could be just your opponent just brings Swirlet as a safe switch every time and manages to win alignment.
You could bring Hypno then instead of Alolan Raichu if you wanted to.
What moveset are we running here? So Ice Punch, Shadow Ball, or?
I think you want Shadow Ball. I think you want Thunder Punch Shadow Ball.
Okay. And I might put Jumpluff back to Drifblim.
Okay.
So now Jellicent's the biggest threat. And you've got play, like, Hypno's got plenty of play against Jellicent.
Sure. No, I would say, I would be, that's the thing is like, so I don't know, maybe I'd have to restructure the team a little bit, but I don't want to, that's the problem with Seeking, is it like, Seeking also loses the Jellicent,
Yeah.
So, I did like I do like having some sort of electric coverage.
Well, then maybe that's where we bring Emolga back. Emolga or Zapdos, I think, was rated higher, wasn't it?
You can try Emolga over Drifblim.
No, Zapdos and Emolga are very similar. Do you prefer Emolga over Zapdos?
I'm not sure if I have a regular Zapdos built for Great League. I have an Emolga.
Also, I only just realized Shadows are banned.
Yep, Shadows are banned.
Yep. So what was it? There was Mogura instead of Driplim?
Mhm.
So you're beating Jellicent. But
And I have one other team you can plug into
Oh, yeah?
if you're interested.
Of course.
Okay, so it's Zweilous, Sea King, Swallet, HU. Oh, you didn't have to delete the other team.
I've started a new page. So there's Wireless.
Okay. Sea King,
Seeking.
Swallet. I think that those three are gonna be like a nice to have together on a team.
Alright, let me rate that before we go on. No, yeah, I don't need to do any of that. I've kept baiting on for now. So
Tropius, Cash, Wishcash, and Raichu.
Tropius.
It's similar to Jumpluff, but it has Leaf Blade, right? Which is a little bit more spammy.
Whiscash a big problem again.
Weak to Wishcash.
Yeah.
But you have the mirror, at least, right?
You do.
And I think Zweilous is probably okay against Wishcash. Sea King is probably not like ideal to have against Wishcash, but it's not like the end of the world because they're just going to be mud bombing you. And like Drill Run actually does pretty good damage.
Yeah. Would you Drill Run or Icy Wind?
Depends what I want to do. Usually I Drill Run because usually I Drill Run first if I want to do damage to them. Because Drill Run actually does like meaningful damage. It's like it's actually noticeable. I don't know if you've played much Sea King, but Icy Wind gets the debuff, but it doesn't hit very hard. Whereas Drill Run, even though it's non-stab, does like a good chunk of damage to most things. So if your goal is to just kill the Wishcash, I would just go for Drill Runs.
Does Icy Wind allow you to survive an extra Mud Bomb or something?
I will say, though, versus Jellicent, you Icy Wind first.
Right. Because then you survive, what, another Shadow Ball? Or?
You survive the Shadow Ball, and they have to throw another charge move. They can't hex you down.
Yeah.
If you don't Icy Wind the Jellicent, after they land the Shadow Ball, they can hex you down.
But is that not the case? Why did that not open up a new tab? Come on, PvPoke. Is that the case for Whiscash as well? Like,
but I'm not too familiar with that matchup as I am with the Jellicent matchup, so I can't say for certain.
I did it again. Open new tab.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Here we go. So it's gone straight Drill Run here. 2 Mud Bombs, or 3 Mud Bombs. Gets
so you can try to get rid of Drill Run and see what happens.
They do throw a 4th Mud Bomb there.
So, actually, probably better to go Icy Wind then against Wishcash. Wait, what happens if you shield?
Shield the first one?
Oh no,
yeah, shield there first, Mud Bomb.
Yeah.
Shield this attack. I don't know, something screwy's going on. I think it is shielding already. But the shields aren't showing up. This is the one shield.
Okay, so PvPoke's broken. Got it.
Yep. Here we go. Refreshing helped. Westcash wins with 601 now? It was definitely Lyle's fault.
No, Dom's broke PvP poke. I swear. It was that fresh coat of paint.
Yeah, if we're gonna look at who's had more close interaction with the site, definitely Dom's. I'll offer this as an exclusive. You heard it here first on Pallet Town PvP. Dom's special guest on next week's GoCast.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That should be fun.
Yeah. We're gonna spend 40 minutes bitching about Lyle.
Can't wait to listen. Make sure you link me the thing. Sometimes I miss some of those episodes. So.
You still streaming or?
Who, me?
Yeah. Do you still do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna get back into a bit more this season. Just got a little bored last season. Topic will be throw paint on Lyle's, see how he breaks in. Yeah. Hopefully the paint's cold because I'm sweating my ass off right now. Yeah, so you can see though, like I was saying for the team, Jump Bluff and Tropius are in the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly there's some sort of benefit to having these on the team, right? Like, Tropius beats all the waters except for Sea Cake, barely.
No AC, no blob.
Yeah, we don't have AC, and I'm sitting here with my headphones on.
And there's a small damp puddle on the chair in the shape of Lyle's butt right now.
Basically. So I think we talked most about the top 10. This one that we haven't really... There's a couple here we haven't really discussed. One being Swellow.
Yeah, I saw Seawolf glowing about it on Twitter.
Oh, I don't know. It's like you see the stat product here, 1630, so it's like even glassier than a Molga.
Yeah.
I think it's sort of like bait dependent with the Skytech Bravebird combo. But I think it definitely would hit hard, you know?
It looks like it's really susceptible to your fast move pressure.
Yeah. See, like here, Zweilous, Dragalge.
Yeah.
Wigglytuff. That's a Charmer.
Yeah.
Obviously loses to all the electrics. Loses to a lot of the Charmers. Has some good matchups here though that it picks up. Like you can see Jellicent. Swalot it beats, it says. But again, like these matchups, like Skytech Bravebird, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's Pidgeot. It's the same thing. Like a lot of these matchups are bait dependent. Like if you turn off baiting, okay, it's still at a 560. That's interesting.
So why is Swellow ranked so high, but Pidgeot isn't?
Probably because of the damage the Bravebird's putting out.
Wait, Pidgeot is banned. That's what the problem is.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And Noctowl's probably banned?
Yeah. I'm trying to find him on the little image here. I mean, yeah, so that'll be the answer.
Yeah, so flying types banned. Pidgeot, Galarian Zapdos, Galarian Moltres, Noctowl, Pelipper, Mandibuzz, Mantine, Hawlucha, Galarian Articuno, Altaria, So they banned quite a few flying types. They also banned Lantern and Cresselia.
Altaria's got such a derpy face. I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of cute. They did add these poisons, right? So that's why people said Fairy's like a good typing in this meta.
For some reason,
So
when I click
duo?
on when I click on Innocent Cup in the arena info, it takes me to Arcana.
Sounds about right. So we can check here what is eligible for flying types, obviously, and you can see here in the top like 20, you have a lot of flying types. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 flying types in the top 20. So that's pretty good. Shows how good it is in this meta. Driftblim being the one that has play against the other flying types, which is why I think it could be good. But Swellow can do pretty well here too. I see it gets walled by all the electric types, right? But roughly is here. Honchcrow, pretty shit. I think Gyarados would be interesting if it wasn't for all the fairy types. And electrics, obviously.
Oh, okay. Curty Wurty here. Won with a Gligar on their team. And running the Alolan Raichu.
I faced a Gliscor when I did some scrims before, which was pretty annoying. But as you can see, a lot of teams have Alolan Raichu, or Dedenne, it looks like.
Yeah.
Are the two ones. Double Fairy, some of these teams are running. You can see a lot of them have Zweilous or Guzzlord, as I was saying. That last team looks really bad. That team will get absolutely destroyed by a Seeking.
It would, wouldn't it? Double super effective against the Whimsicott.
They have triple Fairy, and the Swalot is super effective against the Drill Run.
Killing that it was. So buying round 1, lost to Misa, then 3-0'd Nate Dog, who did have a Swalot.
What? No, Seeking.
Oh, Seeking, you said, yeah. Whimsicott is pretty interesting. So
I'm not sure about it.
I mean, Grass Fairy, it's a huge core breaker to all your Mud Boys and Dragons. Like, yeah, you've got to avoid
you're gonna lose to all the flying types and all of the poison.
Yeah.
You have no coverage moves against poisons, and you're taking double super effective from Seeking, and you're gonna get one shot by like a, heaven forbid, there's a Tropius with Air Slash or something. I'm not sure. Maybe it's definitely could be good, but I don't know about it. If I like it.
So it seems pretty 50. It's like taking it Curdy's team. So like win, loss, win. So it's like beating 3 and losing to 3 on that team. Then you take a look at Mesa, you'd say loss.
Not
loss,
sure
win.
if the Gligar is like a definitive loss for Whimsicott.
Yeah, well,
Probably
I mean,
fairly
sure.
neutral-ish. Gligar does have Night Slash, right? So it's, or Gliscor as well. So it's very solid against like the Psychic types and the Ghost types, as well as having the Earthquake to be able to hit whatever. But you don't do at all, like you do really bad against like some of the other flyers, I think, like Jump Up and stuff. I don't think it does that well there, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Has got Hurricane.
Oh, the Whimsicott, yes, has Hurricane.
Oh, sorry, had you moved on to something else?
I was just talking about Gliscor or Gligar. I think Gliscor is more interesting because of Earthquake. I'm not sure. Maybe Return would be useful. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I like Gliscor. And it is ranked higher, isn't it? Gligar's good if you have Return. I don't think it'll be as good without Return. Matrix. We want Innocent Cup meta. We got Gligar. And Gligar. With Dig. Or Aerial Ace, I guess. If you didn't have Return, would you have Aerial Ace as your second move or Dig?
Probably Aerial Ace, I guess.
I might try with both. Looking like Plato. Wow. I mean, Lyle does get that all the time.
What?
That you look like Plato.
Is Plato like hot and sweaty? Because if so, then yep, that's me. Yeah, Gliscor or Gligar, is that with Return? Basically?
Yeah, so the first one's with Return, then the second one's with Aerial Ace, third one's with Dig.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like Gligar no good without Return.
Yeah, I have a Gligar built it as Return. Yeah. And Gliscor has Aerial Ace Light Slash, so you could run that same combo, right?
Yeah,
but you also have access to Earthquake, which would hit like back against the electric types, as well as like yeah, it's interesting. There's not, like I said, there's ice in the meta, but there's not much ice fast move damage.
Yeah.
So if you can like use your shields accordingly, it could be interesting. Because you are resisting poison fast move, like from Seeking.
Mm-hmm.
But you are double super effective to ice.
Togekiss Hidden Power Ice. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what I said. That one does have Hidden Power Ice, but I don't think it's very good.
You shut your mouth. Well, how about Togetic?
I have a Togetic built with, but it has Hidden Power Flying. And I'm pretty sure I do have some saved with Hidden Power Ice.
Togetic,
just
interesting.
In case. Yeah, with Fairy Wind? Because
Yeah.
you have Ancient Power, you have Moon, or Dazzling Gleam.
So that moveset I still don't think is amazing. Fairy Wind definitely an improvement. What's the stat product? 2023 stat product, so it's reasonably bulky. Look at how close all of these are.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. This, to me, says that Togetic is something that, if you play it right, can do really nice things for you. But, on the other hand, I don't know how many of those... Or, I mean, it's default baiting on, right? So, like, how many of these wins would be losses if you don't bait successfully?
With the Ancient Power, yeah. I just wanted to see if any of these hidden powers help it at all. Looks like the best one is still Fairy Wind.
By a long
You're
way.
losing a lot of matchups.
A lot of matchups. Unless your strat is, I want Jumpluff to die.
Yeah, it could be.
At the expense of everything else.
Okay, 1 second, I'll be right back.
Alright, so let me turn off baiting for this one. Let's see how that changes. So at the moment it's an 18-17-1 in the 1 shields. If you turn off baiting, it suddenly becomes 8-27. That is telling. And most of these aren't even close. Look at this. You get into the 400s around here. I mean, okay, so a lot of them are still close losses, I guess. There's more close losses there than... I consider a close loss to be anything above 400. So there is more close losses than not close losses in that list. But there is a freaking lot of losses. And then what's it beating? Like, nothing particularly good. Lyle busy wiping the sweat off his butt. Man, he's really uncomfortable, isn't he? What do I want? I want switches. The safest Pokemon in the meta. So Jumpluff, of course, number 1. Seeking. Like, what's Jumpluff's hardest losses? Oh, Zapdos is... Yeah, of course, Drifblim with the Icy Wind. Zapdos Seeking, Garbodor with Body Slam.
Okay. I put a fan on. Oh,
yeah, I saw
so
that.
Better. Oh my gosh.
I can see your hair
better.
blowing in the wind.
Woo! So what are you looking at?
I was going into the best switches, and Jumpluff is number 1 at rated 100 out of 100 as a switch. And then I was just wondering, like, what... Because, like, the problem with switches is that there's always, like, a couple of things that are such hard counters to your switch that it just makes it not that safe a switch anymore, like a Pelipper. Like, it says Pelipper's always rated super high as a switch, but then, whoops, there's a Lantern. Lantern doesn't care about your safe switch.
You're not supposed to have a Lantern according to PvPoke. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Lantern doesn't exist. So I'm just wondering what the equivalent of that is here. If you use Jumpluff as your safe swap, what are you most worried about? Well, Drifblim, Zapdos, Seeking. I won't actually say Garbodor as much because that, I imagine, would be slightly bait dependent. Like, you probably couldn't just go straight Gunk Shot, surely. Maybe you can. Yeah, no, if you go straight Gunk Shot, you'll lose there. In the 1s and 2s.
Mm-hmm.
Only good safe switch in Great League is Forretress, but doesn't really beat anything convincingly. Why Forretress? Like, there's other steel bugs.
I think Metacham's pretty good safe swap.
Metacham's pretty good. Especially now, with the Trev drop.
Dugong these days.
But we are talking about Innocent Cup for
Right.
Silph Arena.
the last one.
The very last cup.
Is Pallet Town PvP planning on doing the King of the Hill thing, or?
What's that about?
It's just like, I think like 200 or so factions are just gonna be like battling it out for like the top spot, basically.
Yeah, right. Yeah, maybe we will. Is it still split by region? So like there's an APAC King of the Hill, a North American King of the Hill?
That I don't know. I think there's also priority to the higher tiers.
Yeah.
So possibly if you're open, let's say APAC, maybe you might not be able to get in it. I'm not 100% sure, but
Sure.
I don't think we're gonna do it though.
Okay.
I think we're just content on hanging up our hats for Silph. So
is it organized by Silph or is it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, cool. Hey Lauren, we are talking about Innocent Cup for the last time, breaking down a Silph Arena meta. It's so sad.
Whatever.
Lars like fuck.
All things come to an end.
Lars like I never liked Silph.
My very first Silph cup that I did was a holiday cup.
Holiday Cup. That was. Was that a Silph Cup?
It was a GBL Cup, but I think they did a Silph thing for it.
Okay.
Silph was, I think, it wasn't officially ranked. Silph was on like a.
Yep.
They were on like a Christmas break at the time, but they still hosted some like holiday cups.
Yeah.
So that was the.
That's the first time you did a tournament.
Yeah, and I was running double charm.
Yeah. Toxic Lyle. What else is there to discuss? Mulga also rated pretty high as a switch. Florges, Whiscash.
Okay, let's see if there's anything we missed. Jellicent? Did we talk about Jellicent?
A little bit.
There's only two ghosts really in this meta that are any good.
Yeah.
It's either Jellicent or Driftbim. I initially really liked Jellicent because of its ability to wall Seeking and like Swallet. Like completely walls them, right? Ghost. It's a ghost. Well, it doesn't completely wall Seeking, but drill run is just shit. And that's all it's got. And Swallet, it completely walls. Yes,
well,
but all the ghosts are weak to electric.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering about Jellicent with Ice Beam in this meta because of all the grass and all the electric that would threaten it.
Right, but then we came back to the fact that Ice Beam is like kind of a high energy move.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like Driftblim might just be better than Jellicent, possibly. But
well, yeah, and I'm thinking of like if you're gonna run both in your team.
I mean, I don't think you would run both on your team, but
You reckon?
You're very weak to electric
yeah.
And also like Guzzlord and stuff like that. Like, Gliscor. I guess Driftblim does okay against Gliscor. We talked about Hypno briefly. Right. So of the fairies that you could run, like if you want to run a Charmer, I would say like Wigglytuff is probably the preferred Charmer. Because of the normal typing, you do better against the ghosts as well, right? And now that it has Disarming Voice, it's like lower energy, right?
Yep.
So Disarming Voice, I believe, is 45 energy. So you can see here, it's 8 charms to Disarming Voice. It's 7 to the second.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was 10 to the first charge move for it.
Yeah.
So it's a big change for it, actually.
Yeah. So it
I would
does
say-
recommend does recommend disarming voice
Yep.
on the ring. Yep, cool.
I mean, you're
Whereas-
already doing so much damage with the charms, right? You just want to get off a charge, any
Yeah.
charge move possible, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So the funny thing is, like Slurpuff has like energy ball and stuff, but like it honestly doesn't do much better against some of the water types than like Clefable. Like a stab Moonblast from Clefable does about as much as a non-stab energy ball from Slurpuff.
Yeah.
So even though it does have some interesting move combinations and typings, I'm not too sure about it. We did talk about Whimsicott briefly. Shiinotic, yeah, you can run that. Shiinotic. Okay, let's see what else. Wobbuffet is here. We didn't talk about any of the counter users, but again, it's kind of strange. Like, I don't think there's like a ton that are weak to them necessarily.
The Medicham does have the Ice Punch. Like, we've seen there's a lot of grass and flies around. No, not grass and flies. But I mean, yeah, Jump Life is huge. But we've seen, yeah, a lot of the flies and dragons and stuff.
Blastoise does have access to Ice Beam as well. Speaking about ice types.
Yeah. It's still
here it
losing to
does beat-
Gliscor. I'm fascinated by that.
But yeah, that is interesting. I guess just the...
I'm starting to think
You
Gliscor's
literally-
a real sim hero here.
It usually is.
I don't know. I
Well,
don't think
speaking
this
of-
much normally.
Speaking of Mud Boys, we have Quagsire as well.
Down to number 30.
So you have Stone Edge. It's a little less good against some of the things, but could be a little more consistent than Wishcash, right?
Yeah. But then Blizzard can one-shot stuff, whereas Stone Edge
Right.
normally can't.
Exactly. A lot of the like down here is a lot of water types, which I don't think water is the greatest typing in this meta.
Mm-hmm. So Glasgow with baiting is a 23-13 record in the one shield. And without baiting, it is 17-19, so that's not the worst.
Yeah, it definitely picks up some matchups because of it, right?
So, okay, let's try and, like, crystallize the meta. Like, if we were gonna give, like, a 10-second, this is how to think about the meta, how to approach the meta. Would it be like, you start with your, start with your Mudboy, or start with you need one Mudboy, a Jump
I
Luff,
think you
and a Dragon.
Start with Sea King.
Always start with Seeking. Lyle
Yeah, the
2023.
Sea King and Sea King Xylus. Or
You think they're
Seeking-
they're the indispensable ones?
They seem like a really good pair, and they seem pretty flexible, other than the fairy. And I just feel like you have to bring Swallet, just just in case your opponent does have a charmer or something, right? Like, you need to have something that can like at least resist the charm damage and like fight back, right?
Well, do we establish that Sea King can beat all the fairies?
At least in the one shield, for sure.
We haven't talked about Dragalge at all, which I find interesting in this meta.
I don't know. Are you running Gunk Shot?
I would think so.
Then you get walled by Gel Sim.
We don't get walled. The Dragon Tail's still doing work.
Okay.
Like, how much does a Dragon Tail, a series of Dragon Tails plus a Gunk Shot do?
Okay. So in the one shield, Sea King beats all the fairies.
Yeah, that's...
At least the meta fairies. If I take it to the two shields... hold on. Apparently it barely loses to Togekiss. Well,
wow.
Wigglytuff. According to this.
Yeah. I mean, if you're happy to take two shields from him, then that's fine.
Yeah, this is without them throwing a charge move.
Yeah.
They're just like...
Charming
They're
down.
literally charming you down.
And you know what? I reckon if they do try and throw a charge move, you'll win that.
Says you get charmed down.
What if you throw one Icy Wind earlier? One Poison Jab earlier? Because then
No,
the
you
charge
throw the
goes...
Icy Wind right away.
Yeah, in the second one though, it's not throwing straight away. Like, could that debuff?
But then you're giving up. If you throw it away, you're giving up the poison jab.
Yeah, okay.
You're throwing an alignment, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so you still lose if they throw a charge move. Okay, so depending on context, you might even not want to shield it if they. Yeah.
You just chip the Wiggly a little bit, and then you're fine, right?
Yeah. And that's in two shields, which I mean, probably won't be that common. Gunshot, Chillison.
Yeah, because the thing I liked about Zweilous is it had really good... What is it?
Dragalge versus Jellicent is a tie in the zeros and two shields.
Oh, okay.
One shield's a very narrow win for Dragalge, actually. But that's with a bait. Oh no, that's just straight Aqua Tail. You don't throw Gunk Shot at all.
Yeah, I'm still not sure about Dragalge. It's really, it's like, the thing is, like, with the dragon, I would prefer something, I like the dark typing for the psychic types.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worse, because of the poison subtyping, it's worse against
the Mud Boys, yeah.
And it still loses to the fairies, basically, anyways, right?
I think it's a viable option. Like, yeah, it's got those drawbacks, but it's got some positives. Like having that weaponry against, like, getting it locked in against a fairy isn't automatically a death sentence. Like, you can...
And it would do pretty well against the other poison types because you have the dragon tail, right?
Yeah. Beats your major grasses. But then so do the other two dragons. Well, I mean, Zweilous doesn't beat Jump Love, does it?
No.
And I don't remember about Guzzlord.
Because of the Fairy Wind.
Yeah.
Fairy Wind is doing a 5 damage. It's doing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Zweilous wins the 2s.
Mm-hmm.
That's with them going straight.
2 body slam baits and a Dark Pulse to close it out. I mean, I don't think you'd ever want to throw body slams against the Jumpluff, right?
Probably not, but...
So what about Guzzlord?
Yeah, it's not good against... It's not very good against Jumpluff at all.
I mean, that's a relatively close loss. That's weird. Dragon Claw Crunch.
Guzzlord, yeah.
I'm looking at both of those dragons. So, long story short, like, Dragougi has a better matchup against Jumpluff. But it has a worse matchup against the other dragons. Like, both Zweilous and Guzzlord would be able to beat Dragougi.
I do like Dragougi a lot, but I just don't, like, I don't know. Looking at the meta, I just didn't see, like, a place where I liked it, on my team at least. Because, like, I think there's so many things that I want to put on my team that are already weak to ground.
And you couldn't...
I would like...
Yeah, go on.
I was just going to say, I would like my poison type to be more convincing against the fairies.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what was that?
Just a glass, sorry.
You don't have to have just one poison type. Like, I've been thinking throughout the whole stream of, like, doubling up on certain types, like double poison or double grass or double mud boy or, you know, double electric, and seeing, like, trying to figure out double fairy, trying to figure out if any of those strats work.
Double fairy would be the most viable strat.
Yeah.
Because most teams would only have one potential fairy counter and, like, a poison. Maybe with Seeking, potentially, like, 2.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe a lot of teams won't like Swallow just because it's kind of underwhelming sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they'll just run with Seeking against their fairy check, right? So then if you have 2 fairies, you might be looking pretty good.
There's a lot of stuff that has poison. A Quagsire could run Sludge Bomb.
Quagsire, yeah, you could run Sludge Bomb, I guess, yeah.
So that improves things against Pharaoh. Well, maybe it does, maybe it does. Because, like, how many things would get one shot by a Sludge Bomb is an issue. Well, I mean, if they're not expecting...
Nothing gets one shot by a Sludge Bomb.
The floor just...
Maybe a Whimsicott would.
Would it at least put something like a floor just in farmable range? And it's 5 less energy than Stone Edge too.
Yeah.
Well, let's find out.
Work. Then you're worse off against, like, the electric flying types, but it's still okay.
You'd still win, I imagine. Surely.
Like I said, acrobatics does a shit ton to Quagsire. But...
Yes, you did say that. Does the Stone Edge one-shot the Emolga?
I didn't take it, but I would assume so. Mudshot's only single resisted, right? So.
Oh, this is interesting. Florges also knows Stone-ish. Florges also knows Psychic. That I forgot.
I did look into that already.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're just better off running a triple fairy.
Really? So your opponent comes in with Swirlet.
Moonblast hits super hard. Yes, but okay, so against its counter, sure, maybe you want a Psychic. But you want Florges to win the matchups that you want Florges to win, right? You don't necessarily want it.
LyleJeffsIII 2023.
Like, without Moonblast, you're losing a lot of matchups. And without Disarming Voice, you lose the low energy potential charge moves. So,
yeah.
I think in theory, a Psychic could be interesting, and I would definitely prepare for it potentially on your opponent to have it. But I think practically, it's just better to run.
Yeah, fickle.
The fairy moveset.
Sludge Bomb. Let's go zeros. So hitting with a Sludge Bomb does not put it in farmable range. Does 57% damage. 58%.
So what?
This is to Florges.
Yeah.
And Florges is actually one of the glacier fairies out there.
It's not too bad, actually.
I'm just thinking compared to all the other fairies.
Yeah. It's got a decent stat product, actually.
Compay, anyone?
Weird. That's a regional, right? You have to live in Hawaii.
Is it?
Yeah. So I don't think many people will have it.
With Vine Whip Grass Knot. It's straight fairy, I think. Yeah,
Yes.
straight fairy with Vine Whip Grass Knot.
Vine Whip and it's losing to Swampert? Are you kidding me?
Wow, it actually is. That is bonkers.
Probably the sludge, because of the sludge wave. But
wave.
still, like, you would think, like, Vine Whip, they can just farm you down before you get to a bait and the charge move, right? But
so you're definitely running Sludge Wave on Swampert, right? If you run that?
I wouldn't say definitely. Beta team, it will be great. Sure, it will be. I wouldn't say you definitely want it, but I would say probably. I'd say it depends on the rest of your team. But it is nice coverage for, like, the fairies as well as the jump off the grass type.
Yeah. I imagine you're still going to beat the electrics.
Yeah, you still beat most of them just straight Hydro, right?
Yeah.
So,
Whoops.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Innocent Card Meta. Swampert. Versus Swampert. With EQ. How about Muddy Water?
Muddy Water? Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
So, with Earthquake, you pick up Swampert and as wireless, but you lose Slurpuff, Tapu Fini, Togekiss, Whimsicott, and Whimsicott. Yeah, so those aren't particularly meta losses. So maybe you do want the Earthquake to be able to take out the Zweilous.
That is true, yeah. Potentially.
Oh, look at this!
What?
Pogo Dom got a shout out on the PvPoke website.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, look at him. I'm so proud of my boy.
Is he? Where is it?
Right down the bottom.
Pogo branded colors by Pogo Doms. Let's go.
And it's hyperlinked as well.
He's gonna be rich.
Yes. Get rich off that Pogo money. Because
I'm gonna have to beg him for some coin.
he'll start his own esports team.
Mm-hmm.
How much does a sludge wave do to a jump off? 58%. Disappointing. Like I always knew I wouldn't one shot, but like that's low. Jump off way too bulky. Please nerf.
It's still like, I don't know. I think, yeah, definitely. I think even versus wireless, you could probably just friggin' spam off Hydra cannons, like
You reckon?
whatever, just like fire them off. You land like 2, they might have to shield, and you can just like cut your losses. And if you get stuck in that matchup, right?
And well, sludge wave is neutral against wireless anyway. What is that? 55% for 1.2 DPE.
The ability to like to one shot like some of the fairies, or at least do like massive damage, I think would be valuable and definitely good shield pressure.
And you're getting this wireless down to 27 HP with sludge wave anyway.
What happens if it's just Hydro? How many Hydras does he get off?
Or she. 2 Hydras. And then is 2 mud shots away from a third.
Okay, not too bad.
So actually, if you've got a 2 mud shot energy lead, does that change things? Huh. Okay, this third one doesn't change anything.
Good, gets it low though.
That's weird. Like, it doesn't seem to do any more damage to it. And so it's getting 3 off here. With starting energy, it's just getting 2 off. Oh no, it was that. I don't know why I thought it was low before. I thought this wireless was down to like 27 energy. Oh, that was with the sludge wave. Landing a sludge wave.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright.
I think that covers most of it. It does look like the meta could be somewhat varied.
Yeah.
I think you have options, is what I say. Like, there are top ranked Pokemon, but I think you could go like one way or the other way with your team building. So it could really, I think the direction you wish to go will really build out the end of your team differently. Unlike Arcana or something like that, where everyone seemed to have like very similar teams. I think you're gonna see a little more variety here.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Which is gonna make it pretty difficult to do the 5-minute summary video, but we'll give it our best shot.
I believe in you, buddy.
Let's see who's online. I mean, let's see if we've got any viewers for a start. And then if we do, we'll send them off to. Oh yeah, a whole 10 viewers.
Not bad for a Friday night. This
is right.
Not our typical slot. Usually Tuesday night, everyone's like chill, just hanging out.
Yep.
We didn't do a breakdown of Summer Cup, but that's okay. We'll be back next week.
Yeah. We'll
for our Summer Cup Ultra League edition, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we can briefly talk about the Great League because there will still be. It's still Thursday, right? So
talk about the what, sir?
We can briefly talk about the Great League one since it will still be a few days left in it after our stream, right?
Yeah. When do you want to do that?
I thought we were doing Tuesdays.
Yeah, we can do that.
Until further notice.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. Alright, let's raid AO It's Bueno.
Okay, perfect. I was thinking about raiding him too.
Ah, excellent. Oh, actually, Blob, if you're still watching, do you want to quickly send us your team? We can give that a quick look.
Yeah, hurry up, Blob.
Yeah, come on,
All
Blob.
the time. We're gonna raid AO. It's Bueno very shortly.
And jacket's back on. It's like 2. Oh, jeez. So, Jumpluff, Swalot, Quagsire, Hypno, Zweilous, Drifblim.
What? He didn't get banned? Is he a mod here?
Is he a mod?
Did he post the link or what?
Oh, that was the import export off of PvPoke.
I was gonna say I might have to ban him for this. Spamming.
Jumpluff, Violet, Infestation, Sludge, Ball, Ice Beam. Yep. We got Quag with the standard moveset. We've got Hypno, Thunder Punch, Shadow Ball. It's got another move, doesn't it? It's got another fast move. Zen Headbutt. Nope, it doesn't. And Hypno. I thought there was another fast move that's like not as good.
It does have his Zen Headbutt.
Yeah, I thought it had another fast move that you could use in certain scenarios. Like Wigglytuff has feint, or no, I think is it Alolan Ninetales has feint attack or something like that? No, there's something that has feint attack that like I've seen in specific metas that call for it.
May change the punches depending on the opponent. Dude, this is Silph. You can't just change the punches.
Come on, Blob. This guy. Right team. Oh, look at that. AABA. So for Innocent Cup, is that with baiting on? No, there's no baiting. AABA. Oh, Blob, you shut your mouth.
Dude, you're talking to the Silph master over here.
See again, Whiscash, such a big problem. Well, I mean, okay, it says Jumpluff is a hard loss. That's not true. And same with Drifblim. So I guess it says Whiscash is a big problem, but that's very bait dependent. Oranguru. Wow.
I think Wishcash is gonna be pretty common though, so like
Yeah.
it might be annoying. It might be annoying.
Can
That's what I said,
Jumpluff...
Hypno.
Go on.
No, Hypno looks good just in general. But, yeah.
Can Jumpluff like technically tank a Blizzard?
No.
Interesting. Can't... I thought Altaria could tank a Blizzard.
I do not think so. What's his face? Noctowl can take a Blizzard.
Noctowl, that's probably what I'm thinking of, yeah.
Blizzard does 114% Altaria. Tanked. Blizzard does to Jumpluff 100% even.
Wow. What about a rank 1 Jumpluff?
This is a rank 1.
That is a rank 1?
This is rank 1 versus rank 1. So maybe if they like hit, like they miss one bubble, you might survive with like 1 HP.
So Blob is saying maybe swap Drift out for Jelly, but yeah, I agree that Jumpluff is probably worse to be weak against than Whiscash, because at least Whiscash, if you call the shields right, you can overcome that. Jumpluff,
and you'll one-shot it with like they one-shot you, but you get to your move quicker.
Yeah.
And you one-shot them just as fine. So,
yeah.
And you don't have to bait.
So that's guaranteed shields.
Yeah.
Melodics, really. I mean, apart from those two at the top, the list of weaknesses is not very scary, which is good to see. You just need something to bolster up against the Whiscash and Jumpluff. And there's the mirror as well.
You gotta love a Jumpluff mirror.
Oh yeah. It's one of the better mirrors.
Is it?
Oh, no, sorry. It's one of the better mirrors between two incredibly bulky Pokemon. Like,
Sure.
Umbreon mirror sucks. Bastiodon mirror sucks.
Oh my god, Bastiodon mirror is the worst.
Yeah. Well, I actually hate the G-Fisk mirror, because that's like, it's such a guessing game.
Yeah. It is that's a mind game one. You know what's the crazy ones are the when you see people on like these regionals and stuff, and they lead, let's say they lead Noctowl into a G-Fisk, okay?
Mm.
And they immediately insta-swap into their own G-Fisk. And like, you think like, oh, the one G-Fisk is ahead on energy, right?
Mm.
So they have the advantage. Next thing you know, opponent shields your Earthquake, you shield a Rock Slide,
and suddenly
then it's just like,
trainer.
fuck me, I guess I'm gonna switch out now because I don't want to stay in this matchup anymore.
Yeah.
I thought I had the advantage, but I guess I don't. So.
Yeah.
Because I remember one famous matchup at Toronto Regionals where that happened to Mason. He swapped into his Chiefess against Wadaj, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he called the Rock Slide. And Mason called the Rock Slide bait against Wadaj.
Mm-hmm.
And he no-shielded a Rock Slide. And then Wadaj shielded an Earthquake. And then the second one, Mason like almost called it again, but he shielded the Earthquake on the second one.
Wow.
And he just flipped the matchup like completely around, right? Like you call a Rock Slide, shield an Earthquake, like you just become 10, in such a dominant 9, position at that point,
8,
right?
7, 6, 5. All right, thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully, good luck with your Innocent Cup.